Hi, it's Randi Rhodes. We missed you today, but out of the goodness of our heart, we'll play a little bit of what you missed. And for the entire show, whenever, wherever, go to randirhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast. Right now, here's a clip from our show, and don't forget to catch our show live right here from 4 to 6 Eastern.
Mary had a little man. The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream today.
Change has come to America.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.
I believe all Americans, not just the powerful, are entitled to security. Hillary Clinton has had her chance. She's failed at so many things, almost everything she's done. Now it's time for new leadership. The Hillary Clinton agenda hurts poor people by far the most. There is no compassion in allowing drug dealers, gang members, and felons to prey on innocent people. It is the first duty of government to keep the innocent safe, and when I'm president, I will fight for the safety of every American, and especially those Americans who have not known safety for a very, very long time. I'm asking for the vote of every African-American citizen struggling in our country today who wants a different and much better future.
Yeah, good luck with that. Best of luck to you.
It's time for our society to address some honest and very, very difficult truths. The Democratic Party has failed and betrayed the African-American community. Democratic crime policies, education policies, and economic policies have produced only more crime, more broken homes, and more poverty.
Oh, hey, now. We applaud him for having the nads to even ask for the African-American vote. It's hysterical. I mean, he might get a whole whopping 1% if he's very, very lucky. The Howard said last night, yeah, but if he can increase that from 1% to 2%, then he could say he had a 100% increase in African-American voting, which is an interesting point, but I don't think that's what he was doing last night. First of all, West Bend, I used to live in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, which is also a suburb of Milwaukee. Yes. It's a vowel movement, just to spell it, Oconomowoc. But, West Bend is another one of those lily white, lovely little suburban areas way outside of Milwaukee, about 40 miles. I lived about 34 miles outside of Milwaukee. I used to do a morning show there and, for a whole 6 weeks. And, I-94 used to slide down I-94 on the black ice every single morning at like 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, so I know how far it is to the suburban areas. He went a really long way not to be with black people last night. He went a really stinking long way not to be with the people of Milwaukee. So right there, you have to take this whole appeal to African Americans with a grain of salt. Whatever the hell that means. It means don't believe him because he went a long way not to be with them. In their time of crisis, in their time of upheaval, in their time of frustration, and and he did nothing to speak to them. All he did was, tell them, you're stupid, you're making a mistake, the Democrats take advantage of you, you've been, scammed by everyone for, 50, 60 years. They haven't done jack crap for you, they hate your kids. Hillary Clinton especially hates your children. Oh, yes, she hates your children. I could not believe that he literally told the white people in the suburbs of Milwaukee that the little black children in the city proper of Milwaukee were hated. Hillary Clinton hates them. It was the most stunning. And can I just tell you this? You know, I have to edit this crap. I know there's a guy out there, hi guy, who also does the sound editing for 4 radio shows, he told me, which sounds right. Because these companies have they've squozen every last ounce of workable hours out of people, and so anyway, I have to do my own sound bites. I have to I have to hear them and know that I want them, and then I have to record them, and then I have to edit them, and then I have to load them into my computer, and then I have to load them into this colorful program here. So that I can make them usable and play them for you. So I've already heard Donald Trump's speech last night about 5 times. And you know what's really, 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 really crappy? You know what's driving me crazy? Not Trump. I'm used to him. I'm used to the lies. I'm used to the racism. I'm used to the bigotry. It was interesting last night to hear him call for an end of bigotry, saying, "I will be your champion." The end of bigotry, where this guy, women are pigs. Women are, we bleed, therefore, stick a fork. We're pigs. That he wants to build a wall because he can't stand the Mexican rapists and, the Mexican people who come bringing the drugs. Mexico doesn't send their very best people. They only send their rapists in. And that he wants to hit people in the face, and that, a disabled reporter is somebody to mock. And that, this whole long list, that women should be punished for having control over their own bodies. And John McCain isn't a hero. And, the go F yourself audio and shoot somebody on 6th Avenue. And, I know Putin, I don't know, but, it's just the amount of hate and, making fun of a Gold Star mother because she's a Muslim and maybe she wasn't allowed to speak. And Donald J. Trump is calling for a ban on Muslim. Yeah, he wants to end the racism and the bigotry. This is the guy who wants to end it. So I would say if you wanted to end it, shut up. Just stop talking. And it will subside, because most of the people that are doing the repeating of that hate speech are your supporters in chat rooms. Because I have to watch. The comments are just insane. The comments are... but basically, I summarized his speech last night, and I posted it on Facebook and Twitter. And it was basically, more cops, more guns, can't trust the media, so shoot your TV. Believe me, thank you. That was it. That was the whole stinking speech. But this...
I will fight to ensure that every American is treated equally, protected equally, and honored equally. We will reject bigotry and hatred and oppression in all of its many ugly forms and seek a new future of security, prosperity, and opportunity. A future built on our common culture and values as one American people.
Woo! One woo.
I am asking for your vote on November 8th so I can be your champion in the White House. Okay?
Okay. I swear he's Travis Bickle. I swear he is. And for those of you who don't know who Travis Bickle is, watch Taxi Driver with the great Robert De Niro playing Travis Bickle. Oh my God, this is who he is. I mean, he's deranged. But I loved how he said, Hillary hates the little black children.
We are going to put students and parents first. Hillary Clinton would rather deny opportunities to millions of young African American children just so she can curry favor with the education bureaucracy, which is very big and a lot of votes. I am going to allow charter schools to thrive and help young kids get on the American ladder of success, a good education and a good paying job. That's what they want.
That's what they want. He screws it up every time he opens his mouth. Hillary Clinton, let's see, who desegregated schools in the South. Remember, she went posing as a housewife and said, now, I just want to make sure that if I send my child here, this is a segregated school, right? Right? And as soon as she got the goods, went right back to the Children's Defense Fund and said, okay, we got him. That Hillary Clinton, she 30 years ago and throughout her career, who has fought for better schools and has fought for desegregation and has fought for, equal opportunity for women, African Americans, Latino. Her, the one that actually you mock because she has a Muslim American working for her, Huma Abedin, who has Cheryl Mills as her chief of staff, who happens to be an African American. That Hillary hates black people. That one, she's the one that hates. Oh my God, this was really turning like everything on its head last night. I mean, this was an alternate universe. This was like really freaky. I mean, it was just, what are you talking about? And and the answer, when you actually listen to what he said, for the African American community, more policing, not less policing. More policing, more invasive policing. Police everywhere. Police is in your house. Police is in your schools. Like the school to prison pipeline isn't, efficient enough. He's gonna like roll them, like Lucy in the Chocolate Factory. Speed it up. Holy crap, man! This was really something.
Law and order must be restored.
Woo!
It must be restored for the sake of all, but most especially for the sake of those living in the affected communities, of which there are many. The main victims of these riots are law-abiding African-American citizens living in these neighborhoods.
That's true.
It's their job, it's their homes, it's their schools and communities which will suffer the most as a result. Mm-hmm. There's no compassion in tolerating lawless conduct.
Who tolerates
anyone?
it? Who tolerates lawless behavior from anyone?
Crime and violence is an attack on the poor and will never be accepted in a Trump administration.
It's not accepted anywhere.
The narrative has been pushed aggressively for years, and now by our current administration and pushed by my opponent, Hillary Clinton.
Tolerate crime.
Is a totally false one. You know that. The problem in our poorest communities is not that there are too many police.
Oh.
The problem is that there are not enough police. More law enforcement, more community engagement, more effective policing is what our country needs desperately.
Desperately, we need more police. More.
Just like Hillary Clinton is against the minors, she is against the police. Believe me.
Nobody
you know it and I know it, and guess what?
She knows it. How many times have I heard it?
Those peddling the narrative of cops as a racist force in our society, a narrative supported with a nod by my opponent, shared directly in the responsibility for the unrest in Milwaukee and many other places within our country.
Really? Really?
They have fostered the dangerous anti-police atmosphere in America and all throughout America. Every time we rush to judgment with false facts and narratives, whether in Ferguson or in Baltimore, and foment further unrest, we do a direct disservice to poor African American residents who are hurt by the high crime in their community. A big, big, unfair problem.
Hillary Clinton caused the riots. Hillary Clinton causes riots, all the time. Hillary Clinton tolerates criminal activity from, black people because she wants their votes. So therefore, she looks over here when there's black crime, even though everybody knows that most black people are law-abiding and most black people can't stand. Okay. So let's look at what actually caused the riots in Milwaukee. No, Donald, it wasn't Hillary. And the narrative about cops did not start with Hillary, nor did it start with Barack Obama, nor did it start with me or anybody on the left or anybody on the right. It started with the behavior of the police. That's where it started. The Department of Justice concluded. We read you the whole executive summary from the Department of Justice executive report from the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division yesterday, preparing for this, because I knew, and everybody who thinks knew, he was going to do this. Although I thought he had the nads to go to Milwaukee and do it, he had no nads. He went to West Bend to do it. But didn't you? We all thought maybe he had a little more to give, but no. So we went. So here today, we're just going to read you the 7 most disgusting things that the Department of Justice found that the police were doing to the people of Baltimore, just so that perhaps somebody who listened to Donald Trump last night and said, "Oh, I want to see what this liberal pig bitch says," right? Which is what you call me. Hi, how are you? Hi. How you doing? Where you from? But I just want you to know that what he said sounds kind of good if you know nothing. But if you know stuff and shit, it sounds like what it is. Pure garbage, okay? And so what he does is he takes garbage in and you get garbage out, and people sit there and they go, but there was some truth to it. Yeah, the truth is that people are suffering. That's the truth, okay? The truth is that most people who are in horrible neighborhoods would love to get out, would love to see their neighborhoods improve, would love to see better schools, would love to see an investment from the governor, who happens to be Scott Walker, who cut education to the bone, who went to war with school teachers over their salaries, who took money and invested it in prisons and not schools. Oh my God. All right, but here's the most disgusting things that the Department of Justice found. A missing headlight led to an anal cavity search of a Baltimore woman. I just thought I'd start right there. Yeah. The DOJ found that the Baltimore Police Department routinely conducted unconstitutional strip searches, often in full view of the public. Here is the report in its excruciating detail. This is the actual police report. Officials ordered the woman to exit her vehicle, remove her clothes, and stand on the sidewalk to be searched. The woman asked the male officer in charge, "Do I really got to take my clothes off?" The male officer replied, "Yeah," and ordered a female officer to strip search the woman. The female officer then put on purple latex gloves, pulled up the woman's shirt, and searched around her bra. Finding no weapon or contraband around the woman's chest, the officer then pulled down the woman's underwear and searched her anal cavity. This search again found no evidence of wrongdoing, and the officers released the woman without charges. Indeed, the woman received only a repair order for her headlight. The search occurred in full view of the street, although the supervising male officer claimed he turned away and did not watch the woman disrobe. But he did do the anal cavity search, but he turned away. He's like this. Like that. Okay. Sergeant, there's another incident. Sergeant tells officer to make up a reason to stop a group of black men, even while DOJ investigators were in the car on a ride-along. Yeah. Here's the DOJ's report. During a ride-along with Justice Department officials, a Baltimore Police Department sergeant instructed a patrol officer to stop a group of young African-American males on a street corner, question them, and order them to disperse. When the patrol officer protested that he had no valid reason to stop this group, the sergeant replied, "Then make something up." To be clear, a superior officer tells a subordinate just to flat out violate the constitutional rights of a group of black men, all while the DOJ investigators were in the car investigating whether or not the police department violates residents' constitutional rights. And there was, no punishment for that. Third incident, just going to pick like 7. Unlawful stop ends with a beating, a tasing, and a visit to the hospital. Yes. On a cold night in January 2013, officers stopped a black man wearing a hoodie in a so-called high-crime area. Although the officer had no reason to stop the man, the officer thought it could be possible, quote, that the individual could be seeking out a victim of opportunity. Several officers showed up and began questioning the man and seized a knife that he admitted he was carrying. When the man said, "Can I now have my knife back?" they ordered him on the ground, attempted to handcuff him, and as two officers tried to handcuff him, he started to resist, and another officer hit him with his fist, striking him in the face, ribs, and back. Then he was tased. Twice.
Call in, connect. To speak to Randi, call 561-270-3844. 561-270-3844.
Hi, it's Randi Rhodes. We missed you today. For the entire show, whenever, wherever, go to randirhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast. And don't forget to catch our show live right here from 4 to 6 Eastern.